I think a lot of guys want a woman's undivided romantic and sexual attention.
100%.
And anything, even if it's in your past, I know this almost sounds crazy, but like, we don't want to think about or know the previous sexual things that you've done with men. We don't want to know it. It stings, it burns.
I agree. I don't want to know it with my boyfriend either.
What about the guys that want to know? That like literally ask you. What does that mean? What does
It's
that
like
mean?
a fetish.
What is it? Why are they asking you?
They start getting
They just want to know.
Is it because they're like vetting you and they're curious about your past, or is it like they
I
have
been
like
with
a cuck
someone
fetish?
that he was like, I want to know everything about you. I'm not going to be able to know you unless I know everything you've ever done in your past and this and like how you grew up. He was like, how will I know you as a person if I don't know your history? That's what he would tell me, and I had to tell him everything.
But you got to tell him like
life.
fucking positions and shit, like
no, just like everything I've done. If I had a threesome, if I've been with girls, if I've done this, and like how many, like he want to know everything that ever happened in my life.
I think that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
Like if you're having like a serious relationship, like
yeah, he was like, I want to know your whole life story.
Yeah, I mean like those are questions that a guy is going to ask a woman if he, like she said, is serious about her.
Yeah.
Like if I'm talking to a girl,
then you want to know.
damn well do I want to know whether or not she's done a threesome, because if she has, I'm like,
done
I'm
a
out.
lot of stuff.
Well, if it's like, is it worse if it's a guy versus a girl?
It's bad either way.
Well, like Devil's Threesome versus
Of
two
course.
dudes.
I mean, even a girl and a guy would like be a deal breaker to me, but two guys is like, bro, dude. When I was in college, when I was a freshman in college, there was this girl in my dorm complex that had a train ran on her by guys at a party in front of other people.
Was it a platoon or a squad? Coast Guard or?
I remember when I heard that, I was like, I think that was the most disgusted I maybe had ever been in my life. It was so gnarly. Like, how would you feel if you found out that a girl had like a threesome or a foursome with a number of other guys?
A girl I'm interested in?
Yeah, like okay.
Like if it's just some random chick.
A girl that you're interested in. I wasn't interested in this woman, by the way, but
So then why did it bother you?
That I would not want to date her.
Why did it bother me?
Because
I'm just thinking to myself, dude, that's somebody's daughter, and she's getting a train
it
ran
doesn't
on her
bother
at a party.
like stuff like that. Just like doesn't bother me if I'm not like, I don't know. I just wouldn't care. Like she's doing whoever.
Yeah, if
it
it happens to
is,
someone else, I don't care.
they're like doing their own thing. Like they don't affect me. Like I don't know. It just like wouldn't bother me.
Abdul?
I still find it
But
gross.
I see your personality. But
it would be.
I have a strong disgust response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
would feel
completely agree.
Yeah. I'd feel like that's kind of gross.
Kind of.
Fathers are the ultimate
I'm
cucks.
very, very.
Like you meet this girl, she's perfect. She's got the beef curtains. She's 4'11", super passionate about your podcast. You find out a train had been ran on her.
No, it's a done. I can't do it. Okay. Can't do it.
Dang.
Can't do it.
Yep.
No, well, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty extreme with it. Like, even on a first date, when of course, like, you've just met me, there's clearly no expectation of commitment or anything. If I find out on a first date that you've recently had sex with another dude, even before you even met me, I'm already like, ugh.
Yep.
Like, bro, there needs to be I don't know what the minimum is. At least 3 months.
So you guys are very
preferably
intimate people, for sure. Like sex is very important and intimate, and
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It's like the most sacred thing that you can do with another person, you know.
So I have a question. What is like an acceptable body count for a woman to have?
0.
So virgins, then that's what you guys are. Like,
that would be the ultimate.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate, but
the lower the better.
The lower the better.
Okay, would you feel the
like
same way
range?
towards a man though? Like do you think
what's an acceptable body count for a man?
Yeah.
I personally speak out against male promiscuity. I think one of the worst problems in our world is promiscuity in general. I don't support dudes like sleeping with a ton of women. Mm-hmm. Like somebody close to me recently was telling me that he's talking to a girl. He's gonna have to leave California soon, and like this girl is like, she really likes him, and he like kind of doesn't care about her that much. He was like, yeah, I think I might go stay over at her place tonight. I was like, bro, but you're gonna leave California, and this girl's like in love. It's gonna hurt her, you know. Like A lot of guys are like, if a guy has a high body count, dudes will be like, dude, nice. I think it's degenerate.
Like, it's still like a hot girl, go for it. Like,
yeah, I think it's degenerate, personally.
It's like contributing to the problem with
exactly
women as well.
Exactly. This is like one of the problems I have with like the red pill sphere as a whole, is you've got like a lot of influencers that are like, yeah, women with high body counts are bad, but also you as a man should go get laid as much as humanly possible. It's like, bro, you're literally advocating for men to contribute to the problem that you're calling out.
Yeah, it should be like an equal situation.
Yeah.
There are some differences, though, insofar as there's a small proportion of men who can be promiscuous as compared to the proportion of women who have the capacity and capability to be promiscuous, because almost any woman, if she was so inclined, could be a slut, but not every guy can be a slut. Like, it takes a certain degree of either look, status, or charisma for a guy to get laid, whereas there's more women who can be promiscuous or have the capacity for promiscuity than it is the case for men. So there is a differential. There is a differential.
But even
there.
an ugly dude is still going to try his hardest to be a slut if he wants to be.
Yeah, he might
if he wants to.
He
But
might.
it's gonna be much
to his level of ugliness.
But let me.
It's going to be much harder for him to do that, though, than for a woman who's at the same level of ugliness.
Yeah, like if you take
is the point that he's making.
If you take, like, we had a woman on the show, I mentioned her earlier on. This is the woman who had slept with 5 guys in a night, and she did that for like weeks on end. She was.
Where's her father, dude?
Actually, Nick, if you're able to find it, I think you've pulled it up before. It's the.
I didn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, it's the girl who was on the podcast before. She was sleeping with 5 men in a day. I think you've pulled it up before. Unremarkable looking, overweight. Her looks equivalent, like if she had a brother who looked like her equivalent, whatever, or just her looks equivalent, would not be capable of sleeping with 5 women in a day. In order to sleep with 5 women in a day, you need to be Drake. You need to, like,
Dan Bilzerian.
That is like the top 0.001% of
$99. There's bunch of red flag cappers at the table equals wears war helmets, blanket sweaters, blue neck yogas, dollar store capping Alicia Keys wannabe, cake face, capping granny, weirdo white blouse, pink nut job, fake nose blondie.
What the
Hashtag get the rocks number 304s.
Hashtag get the rocks.
Okay. Yo, LPE, thank you, man. Thank you, man.
I have it pulled up also on the latest super chat that came in. Just check the profile picture. It's a little.
Dude, he
take a look
he
at
just
it.
successfly roasted every woman at this
that's
panel.
funny.
Wait, which one was I?
But I've been called weirdo, so it really it's like
Alicia Keys?
I think he killed
What was
it.
the rest
What
of the
was it?
That's so
That was
unoriginal.
it.
That's so original. Come up with something more original.
Do you have the
A blanket sweater.
the video?
This one, right?
Yeah. There's probably a better
This
version
chick
of it.
slept
but-
with 5 guys
Really?
per night for weeks.
Find a better version of it.
Yeah, can you find it? Just play it. Just play it. It's fine.
Yeah, it started with adult content when I was like
That's
9
lower
years
it, lower,
old
lower,
or something
a
like
little
that. Then eventually it got
70?
to a point where like I was 19 and I got kicked out of my house because I was like bringing over 6 dudes a night. Like it just was never enough. Enough was never enough. So, yeah.
Wait. So you would sleep with six guys a night. So like, would you slot them in like 7 p.m., 8 p.m.,
Yeah.
9 p.m., 10 p.m.?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And then I would even, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'd say I would even like have like my backup guys to where it was like if this guy didn't come tonight, then I would invite this guy, and then if he did come, if the first guy did come, then I'd tell the other guy, oh, I'm busy, like I can't, make it or whatever. So that like
Did you have a spreadsheet, like an Excel spread?
kind of, yeah. I mean, I had to eventually like I had to write people's names down because it got like so insane.
Oh my god.
That is wild. I have so many
such
questions.
disgusting behavior.
That woman's looks equivalent is not capable of sleeping with 6 women in a night, in a day.
Yes, but I think the point is just like the mindset and the behavior that like upsets you guys. So like even though a man can't get that many women because he's ugly or whatever the situation is, he still has that mindset of a slut or whatever. So wouldn't it still be like the same
Actions are different than
Yeah,
intentions.
your mindset's gonna eventually.
But it's just
change
because
if
he
you're not able to
can't.
achieve that.
I mean,
get
there's a lot
so
of
it's
dudes.
not really that he's like trying. His actions are the same. He's still trying to get it. He
No,
just
his
can't.
actions aren't the same though. He's not sleeping with 7 women a night.
Because he can't though. So it's not
Yeah.
really like that.
Even
like,
if he could, it would still be wrong for him to do.
Yeah, but that's just what I'm saying. Like it would be the same.
They're
It's
advocating
just
against the
he can't.
behavior, not for it,
yeah.
regardless of if it's the.
No, but
I'm
just
not
saying-
upset. We're not upset that guys, like ugly guys, can't do that. I think it's all degenerate behavior.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just like trying to get like. The,
Yeah.
He was just explaining why it's different between the sexes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't think it's ideal for. I think men should be pursuing long-term relationships, as should women.
I mean, dude,
hookup culture is bad. Casual sex.
Any guy that's sleeping with 7 women a night is for sure spreading a ton of STDs throughout the population.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Also,
so bad.
this whole idea of like it's high value or alpha to like. You may be able, like you might be such an attractive guy that you're able to and you have the capacity to sleep with a lot of women, but I don't think it's high value behavior or alpha to sleep with a bunch of women. Granted, I do think that men need to get more experience when it comes to dealing with women, but not necessarily in a sexual sense, but I do think that
Like dating.
yeah, there's like a differential there. We don't need to go into
Men
that,
need to build game and confidence.
Charisma.
right.
Got it, yeah.
Why doesn't
Because-
somebody have classes for that then?
Huh?
Societal classes for that?
Well, so just to make my point though, when it comes to men sleeping with a bunch of women and it's high value or alpha, it's the least alpha or high value thing. Let's say you want to have a wife one day, you want to have kids. It's not cool to like be bringing herpes or some other STD to the mother of your children, to your wife, etc. So,
You know what I think the most alpha behavior is, personally?
wait until marriage.
Well, that
And have 10 sons.
that, but I don't think that's like particularly alpha per se.
Okay.
I think like the most alpha behavior that a man can embody is like making the greatest success out of himself that he can, finding the most beautiful and virtuous woman that he can, having as many kids with her as humanly possible, repopulating the earth and creating a freaking dynasty, dude. building a family that then like governs the earth, bro. That's alpha behavior.
Tell us about what's the arrow
I
one?
agree with that.
the arrow.
The
Kardashian.
sons are like arrows.
Oh
in
yes.
the hand of a warrior. Is that-
Proverbs says the children of a man's youth are like arrows in the hands of a warrior. So basically, the Bible is saying your children it's describing your kids as artillery to send out into the world.